keeping you informed, prepared, and connected. You're watching 10 Tampa Bay.
And you are streaming 10 Tampa Bay Plus. I'm Eric Glasser in for Frank Wiley. Thanks for joining us. A traffic alert as we begin for you right now. A bad crash near the entrance of Busch Gardens has closed McKinley Drive near Bougainvillea Avenue. Tampa Police has both directions of McKinley Drive closed. Video shows at least 3 cars involved in this. One has extensive damage. It was upside down, as you saw. Another ran off the road near a Busch Gardens sign. We're waiting to hear back from Tampa Police about injuries. For now, avoid that area if you can. And if you are headed to the theme park, be prepared for some delays. Happening right now in Washington, an early test for the new Republican-led Congress. The House could start voting for a speaker in the next half hour. Mike Johnson is looking to keep that job and has President-elect Donald Trump's support. Nydia Cavazos has the latest from Capitol Hill.
Louisiana Republican Mike Johnson arrived at the Capitol with a message for holdouts.
This election is not just about one person. It's about moving forward with the America First agenda.
Johnson has been working to sway hardliners in the House Freedom Caucus before today's vote.
I'm undecided.
But as of yesterday, some in his own party were still on the fence.
A lot of things we agree, but I just want to ensure that we convince the people that we can deliver the agenda.
Kentucky Congressman Thomas Massey is a no, and another congressman is exploring a third option. Johnson can only afford 1 or 2 defections.
So when we have a super thin majority, it's really tough to get a speaker elected, as we saw last Congress.
It took 15 contentious rounds for former Speaker Kevin McCarthy to get elected in 2023, only to lose the job 9 months later. Without a speaker, no legislative business can take place, including the certification of Donald Trump's election victory next week. The president-elect has voiced strong support for Johnson, with an eye on avoiding party infighting before he takes office.
He's a good man. He's a wonderful person, and that's what you need.
The stakes are high this year as the president-elect promises to deliver big on a 100-day agenda. Nydia Cavazos, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries has said his party will help save Johnson, as they have in the past. We continue to learn more information this afternoon about the New Year's Day attack that killed 14 people in New Orleans. Taking a live look at EarthCam right now, where Bourbon Street reopened less than 24 hours ago. A vigil for the victims along Bourbon Street is growing this afternoon, lined with candles, flowers, and signs to honor their lives. Right now, the FBI believes 42-year-old Shamsuddin Jabbar acted alone carrying out those attacks. They say that he drove off the sidewalk of Bourbon Street, swerving around barriers and into a crowd of New Year's revelers. Jabbar crashed shortly afterwards and was killed in a gunfight with police. Just hours before, they say he had placed 2 improvised explosive devices in coolers in the French Quarter.
We're confident at this point that there is no accomplices. He originally planned to harm his family and friends, but was concerned the news headlines would not focus on the, quote, war between the believers and the disbelievers.
Investigators say Jabbar, who is a decorated Army veteran, pledged his allegiance to ISIS before last summer. Authorities are still trying to piece together how and when he became radicalized. Right now, the FBI is asking anyone with information or video from the scene to share it with investigators. All right, it's a cool Friday afternoon outside. It was cooler this morning, too. Meteorologist Colleen Campbell is here with your weather impact forecast. Hi, Colleen.
Hey, Eric. Yeah, so anybody that got out the door early, you know that the temperatures really were on the chilly side, but now we're starting to improve nicely. These are our lowest temperatures of the morning. A couple readings here that we have. Crystal River was at a solid freezing 32. Brooksville not far from that at 33 this morning. Sunrise temperature for Plant City and Lakeland was around 43, 45, 43 in Bartow. So you get the idea here. Everybody in the 30s and 40s starting off the day, but we've had about a 30-degree warm-up since those sunrise temperatures, and now we're sitting in the 60s for many locations, some locations starting to approach 70. The next 12 hours here, most of us will top out in the upper 60s and mid 60s, depending on your location. Here in Tampa, we're expecting marks to be in those upper 60s. For the weekend, the cold mornings and nights continue, but in the afternoon, again, once the sun starts working its magic, it doesn't feel so bad outside. Yes, it is seasonably cool. We are a few degrees shy from where we should should sit for this time of the year, 65 for tomorrow afternoon, and Sunday, nice improvement, 73 by the time for kickoff of that Bucs game.
Thank you, Colleen. Well, new efforts are underway to hire the next leader of Pinellas Suncoast Fire and Rescue. An investigation cleared current chief Jeffrey Davidson of allegations of workplace misconduct, but he's still stepping down. 10 Tampa Bay's Miguel Octavio shares what's next for the department.
After months of controversy, Fire Chief Jeffrey Davidson is stepping down but maintains he's innocent.
I've done a lot of great things for this district, and I have a lot of great visions for the future and what we can become, and we were headed down that path.
Davidson defended himself against accusations Thursday night during a special meeting on Bel Air Beach. Those allegations include discrimination, a toxic workplace, and misappropriation of funds.
I get paid to make some tough decisions, and not everybody likes those decisions.
An independent investigation found an overwhelming majority of the Pinellas Suncoast Fire and Rescue District have an abject loss of trust and confidence in his leadership. It concluded that while the chief violated the district's mission and values policy, allegations of wrongdoing were not sustained, so no discipline was recommended.
I think this district needs Chief Davidson.
Some showed up in his support.
I would like to make a motion to not accept the chief's resignation.
Two commissioners expressed interest in keeping Davidson. Others stated there are bad actors from both sides, but change is needed.
I think there may be a lot of questions about how we got here, but we have to do something and we have to take action.
Chief Davidson says he's committed to helping the new chief transition, highlighting ongoing work to build a new fire station.
We have to do what's best for the district, but first and foremost, I have to do what's best for me and my family.
In Pinellas County, Miguel Octavio, 10 Tampa Bay.
Chief Davidson's resignation is slated to take effect on February 21st. The board is expected to meet again to discuss the next steps in hiring a new chief. In Clearwater, complaints about an odor in the air leading to action from the city. Multiple people have complained about the issue around the Northeast Water Reclamation Facility. That's near State Road 580 and McMullen Booth Road. In a statement, the city says a sealed tank at the plant failed. Now, that's a tank that's typically used for waste disposal. The city says a long-term fix could take a while. But right now, crews are working to minimize the smell. That includes turning off the primary filter system, adding odor foggers around the plant, and keeping windows and doors at the plant closed as often as possible. They say that the smell should not be a problem after January. Plans to turn open spaces into thousands of new homes are moving forward in Sarasota County. The Planning Commission just approved a massive zoning request, and as 10 Tampa Bay's Chris Hertz explains, the only people standing in the way of Lakewood Ranch developers now are county commissioners.
We have a very specific job to do, which is to uphold the comprehensive plan.
One planning commissioner said he didn't agree with plans to turn hundreds of acres of former Sarasota farmland into the next phase of Lakewood Ranch, but that his duties forced him to approve the zoning change.
I voted no originally on the comprehensive plan amendment, but as the rezones presented, it checks all the boxes as county staff's identified.
Developers convinced the county to change the land from rural to more residential, clearing the way for a total of 5,000 new homes.
As a planning commissioner should have seen numerous times the complaints from us people out east on how bad it is.
Michael Hutchinson sued the county and Lakewood Ranch developers over the switch, and the case will go before a state appellate judge later this month.
They want to take away the right to have rural living and convert it to urban. So in effect, future generations can't live the way I live.
Hutchinson and others who live nearby say traffic and stormwater problems will only be made worse.
A little bit of history.
But county staff say the plan conforms with local requirements.
Consistent with the following comprehensive plan goals, objectives, and policies.
Hutchinson hopes a judge rules in his favor.
As Americans, we have a right to live the way we want to live.
Short of that, county commissioners, the only hurdle remaining to reshape eastern Sarasota County. In Venice, Chris Hurst, 10 Tampa Bay.
And if approved, developers will be on the hook for possible infrastructure improvements along Fruitville Road and University Parkway. All right, let's get you into the know with some of the other stories that are making headlines this afternoon. Florida Attorney General Ashley Moody is pushing forward with a case against Starbucks. Moody is accusing the coffee giant of using race-based hiring practices in violation of the state's anti-discrimination laws. Despite a state investigation finding no reasonable cause to believe Starbucks broke that law, Moody's office is taking the matter to court. Starbucks maintains its diversity goals are not tied to hiring quotas. Apple is set to pay $95 million to settle a lawsuit claiming Siri secretly recorded conversations without user consent. The proposed settlement is still pending court approval. It could provide up to $20 per device for eligible customers who owned Siri-equipped devices between 2014 and 2022. Apple denies any wrongdoing. Unemployment claims in the U.S. have dropped to their lowest level since March, signaling strong job security for workers. The Labor Department reports that claims fell by 9,000 last week to 211,000. The overall number of people receiving benefits dropped to just over 1.8 million. Economists call the trend encouraging, although they warn that holiday adjustments might impact that data. As we head into 2025, new predictions suggest that major changes for our red-hot housing market could be in the works. For the first time in years, experts say this could be the moment that buyers have been waiting for. Real estate experts are calling this a tale of two markets, with coastal properties seeing the biggest shakeup. Experts say sellers along the coast are already slashing prices to make deals happen, but it's a different story in Hillsborough and Polk counties. With a shaky housing market, real estate analysts suggest sellers should be more aggressive with their pricing this year, possibly even listing below market value to attract buyers. But some experts are predicting 2025 could be a breakthrough year, especially when it comes to those crushing insurance rates.
I think we definitely need, I think we need somebody to step in and get some other insurance companies in here besides like Citizens, for example. But everybody's moved on. They don't even want to play in Florida anymore, so.
And if you're a renter, there is finally some relief in sight. Analysts are predicting that the first drop in rental rates that the Bay has seen in years.
Consumer Reports is out with its list of the most reliable vehicles, including the Toyota RAV4. I'm Bradley Blackburn, and I'll tell you which automaker came out on top.
Did you cut the cord?
But still want your local news for free?
It can happen. Just stream 10 Tampa Bay Plus.
And the best part? You can watch us live.
Or catch up with what's happening anytime you want. It's always the latest news, updated weather forecasts, and a whole lot more. You can even customize your favorites so you see what you want right away.
We think there's no better way to stay informed, prepared, and connected. Stream the free 10 Tampa Bay Plus app now.
Jeopardy is for everybody.
That's amazing. Oh, yeah.
With players just like you.
Paramedic, a retired teacher, psychiatrist.
I'm a little bit competitive.
That's the spirit.
Watch their victories.
We have a giant killer.
And heartbreaks.
Oh, no.
The next super champion could be anyone.
It's almost like a superhero origin story.
It could be you.
Oh, wow.
It's all happening on Jeopardy!
Jeopardy weeknights at 7:30, right here on 10 Tampa Bay.
When the weather changes, you feel the impact. And you told us alerting you when the weather turns severe is the most important thing we can do. That's why 10 Tampa Bay is taking forecasting to the next level with Weather Impact Alert Days. So you'll know when to be alert, how the weather will impact your day, and how to keep your family safe.
Keeping you informed, prepared, and connected with Weather Impact Alert on 10 Tampa Bay and 10 Tampa Bay Plus. Keeping you informed, prepared, and connected. You're watching 10 Tampa Bay.
Welcome back. A new consumer report is helping drivers find their perfect car by searching for the most reliable vehicles. Bradley Blackburn breaks it down.
At the Consumer Reports test track, John Linkove analyzes all types of vehicles, and on this day, he's taking the Subaru Forester for a spin.
People love their Foresters. They come back year after year, generation after generation.
The Forester is one reason why Subaru tops the list of Consumer Reports' most reliable brands.
This year, Subaru has climbed to the top of our brand rankings, and they leapfrogged Lexus and Toyota. Subaru really has a strong lineup in terms of reliability. They keep what's great, and they made a little bit of change over time.
Toyota may have slipped from the top spot, but the automaker still has several of the most reliable vehicles on the road, including the RAV4 and the RAV4 Hybrid.
They're just building it well, they're not making massive changes, and they're just keeping focused on it.
Electric vehicles did not fare well for reliability. Consumer Reports says EVs have 42% more problems than hybrids and gas-powered cars. Tesla ranks 17th on the list of brands, and Rivian is at the very bottom. Linkov says people who want an environmentally friendly car they can count on are better off with a hybrid.
Hybrid is a known technology for almost every manufacturer, and they really are reliable. In fact, hybrids tend to be the better performing version of a model.
Linkov says it's important for car owners to do their research, not only to find a reliable vehicle, but to make sure it's the right fit for you. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Right now, local citrus farmers are keeping an eye on the forecast. In Dade City, growers are considering harvesting their crop ahead of the annual Kumquat Festival later this month. According to Greg Goody, one of the area's largest growers, his citrus crop can tolerate temperatures as low as 27 degrees, but not for very long. And below that, they're likely to see some damage. If it looks like next week's Arctic blast will come close to that, the plan is to harvest as much fruit as they can, but the trees could still be at risk. So he and other growers are monitoring that forecast very closely.
I'm watching and you know, I'm going to be cautious because we are going to go ahead and pick next week. We're going to pick for the commercial customers, and we will hold some in reserve for us. But if it looks like it's going to be real cold, then that reserve will be picked and we will store that, put it in refrigeration. It will be perfectly fine.
This year's Kumquat Festival, by the way, is scheduled for January 25th. All right, let's take a live look outside right now. Clearwater Beach on this beautiful Friday afternoon. Wow, not a cloud in the sky. Meteorologist Colleen Campbell joining us right now. Colleen, they were talking about, I know you're still fine-tuning next week's forecast.
Yeah.
But boy, up in those areas, they are really talking about a potential for a real freeze.
Oh, yeah. Now, they already reached 27 in Brooksville, which is close to Dade City, December 2nd. But it only lasted a day. So
I think they could tolerate that.
Yes. He said as long as it's a short stint, they're okay. But next week, yeah, we could have a series of days here where frost is possible across the Nature Coast. And yeah, those kumquats are in danger. So are you a fan of the fruit? I haven't had one.
You haven't had one yet?
I haven't had one. We talked about this morning.
Off to the festival you got.
I know. All right, so temperatures across the nation. Let's start off with that. We are in the milder sector, right? We have Texas that we're competing with, but here in Florida, temperatures aren't bad now that we've entered into the afternoon. And those bright skies that we just saw on the camera there in Clearwater, I'm sure it's a little bit cool by the beach with the breezes, but the sunshine really feels nice if you can escape away from those breezes from the north and just kind of bask in the sunshine. Helps us out, right? So those colder marks, they are going to travel down to our region next week. Now, the mornings and the nights, they have been on the cooler side here, but the afternoon, again, really hasn't been bad, and that trend's going to continue through the weekend. But this is through the Climate Prediction Center, and what this blue circle is showing is that we have an 80% chance of experiencing below average temperatures next week from January 9th to January 13th, and we'll show you why. So this is our in-house model showing the jet, and this is our current setup right now. So the jet is always trying to balance out our atmosphere, right? It's exactly what it's trying to do. So all the cold air is coming down from a Canadian area high pressure, and that's just recycling the cold air in our region. However, as we make our way towards Monday, some milder air is going to come ahead of our next front. The front arrives Monday afternoon. It will bring us a few showers and some milder marks. That warmer airs can continue flowing in from the south. But as we kind of move forward a little bit more into Tuesday after that front passes, and especially towards Thursday, the jet takes another major dip across our area. And look at all that cold polar air that's trying to head towards our region from Canada. So you can imagine it is going to be pretty frigid, especially in the morning and at night. Overall, December was a cool month for several locations, including in Tampa. But for 2024, we were actually above average. In fact, St. Pete had their warmest year when you compare it to records being held since 1915 for St. Pete. They had their warmest year altogether, and it was about, they were almost 2 degrees above average. Tampa had their 9th warmest year when it goes to record keeping. They were only about a degree above average compared to other years. All right, temperatures currently, we're in the mid 60s in places like Wesley Chapel, Dade City. We're just talking about that area with the kumquats. Brooksville sitting at 63, Crystal River 61. Now remember, Crystal River had a freezing mark this morning, so they're about 30 degrees warmer than what they were around sunrise. And we have some marks that are closer to 70. Arcadia is hitting 70 right now, while Chula is sitting at 67, as well as Frostproof and Sebring. As we look at this front that's sinking into our region, this is not producing rain, this front, but come Monday, we will have a few showers. Similar setup here. Anybody traveling, they are experiencing some snow showers and some mixing into rain and sleet, kind of along the spine of the Appalachia right now and moving into Ohio. So satellite and radar, again, we have those winds that are coming in from the north. That's our source of the colder air that we have in our region for the next couple days moving through the weekend up until Monday, really. Today for the daytime high, 68. Again, cool sunshine, and those clear conditions will continue into tonight. So we do have nice improvements as we make our way towards the Bucks game on Sunday. You can see by Monday we're at 76, but it does not last long. Once that front moves through, temperatures really take a tumble here as we work into next week.
Colleen, thank you. Blue light glasses, they are often marketed as a must-have for anyone spending hours in front of those screens. They promise to reduce eye strain and give better sleep. Megan Bragg with our Verify team looks into what the research reveals about their actual impact.
So these are blue light glasses. They're supposed to filter out light on the blue edge of the spectrum. I wear them sometimes when I'm staring at the computer for hours during the day. But are they actually doing the job we think they are? Do blue light filter glasses significantly prevent eye strain and improve sleep? Let's verify. Our source is Dr. Nicole Bajic, ophthalmologist specialist with the Cleveland Clinic, the American Academy of Ophthalmology, Harvard Medical School, and a study published in the National Library of Medicine. According to Harvard Medical School, the full spectrum of visible light is translated by our brains to appear to be white. Light that's part of the blue wavelengths can affect our alertness and sleep. Dr. Bajic says the blue light filtering glasses you can buy, however, might not have a big effect.
The research that's gone into it really hasn't found, it has been effective in reducing eye strain.
A study published in the National Library of Medicine conducted 3 tests with 136 people. Some wore blue light glasses and others wore clear lenses. Researchers found no difference in eye strain or sleep quality. So if blue blocking glasses don't work, what does? The American Academy of Ophthalmology instead suggests sitting 25 inches away from the computer screen, taking breaks every 20 minutes, and shifting your eyes to an object 20 feet away. Adjust your room lighting or screen, or wear your glasses instead of contacts to give your eyes a break. So we can verify that no, blue light blocking glasses do not significantly prevent eye strain or improve sleep. With your Verify, I'm Megan Bragg.
So there you go. If you see something that you would like us to verify, you can email your questions to us, verify@10tampabay.com, or you can text us 727-577-8522. 2 young boys share a special connection. They became friends while battling the same cancer and then undergoing the same rare surgery. Danya Backus has their story.
I'm better at sports. Okay, better at sports.
He's better.
I don't do sports.
Competition between 11-year-old Noah and 10-year-old Wally helps to keep them going on days like this when they have physical therapy.
Oh.
The two forged a unique bond, meeting at Children's Hospital Los Angeles as they were undergoing treatment for osteosarcoma, a rare and aggressive bone cancer that accounts for about 3% of all childhood cancers.
Treatment for it is pretty intensive. Kids require, somewhere between 6 to 9 months of chemotherapy and usually a big surgery.
The surgery Noah and Wally had is called rotationplasty, which with a prosthesis turns the ankle joint into the knee joint. Dr. Alex Christ is the boys' orthopedic oncologist.
We remove that part of the leg with the tumor. We keep just the nerves and blood vessels that go down to the distal part of the leg. and we actually put the leg on 180 degrees backwards. So the foot is actually pointing backwards.
Noah and Wally had their surgeries 2 weeks apart. While cosmetically challenging, rotationplasty prevents the need for more surgeries as the boys grow. Their parents leaning on each other as they navigate the extremely rare cancer, even rarer surgery and treatments.
What are the odds for them meeting? They have the same diagnosis and same type of surgery.
It's good to talk to someone who's going through something, the same thing you're going through. I mean, the exact same thing we're going through.
A camaraderie that extends from patients to parents, bonded by the journey to becoming cancer-free. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Still ahead on 10 Tampa Bay Plus, a World War II veteran celebrating a historic birthday. Hear what he says is the secret to a long life.
Weather impacts your life every day. I'm 10 Tampa Bay Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins. You can find out about any change in the weather with our 10 Tampa Bay Plus app. Just stream for the latest forecast, any weather impact alert, updated tropics forecast, and take a live look at the radar. Anytime you want, and it's free. It's just one more way we're helping you stay informed, prepared, and connected. Stream 10 Tampa Bay Plus.
NCIS Sydney.
IFP.
We're hunting this terrorist while trying to recapture a stolen missile and solve a double homicide. You're enjoying this.
That obvious?
This is one of those moments where the Navy expects you to think outside the box. To have the guts to ignore history. Trust your instinct.
I like that.
Here are the stars of our show.
I am your host, Ryan Seacrest. The Wheel You Love is back. Yes! Let's have some fun.
This season will truly be unlike any other.
This has never happened before on Wheel of Fortune.
With bigger trips.
Yeah, baby.
Bigger prizes.
I'd love to take you backstage to the iHeartRadio Music Festival.
And bigger surprises.
There it is.
What a great show!
Let's do it again tomorrow.
Wheel, weeknights at 7 on 10 Tampa Bay.
Welcome back. Our World War II veterans are part of the greatest generation, earning that name for good reason. On Thursday in Bradenton, a veteran celebrated his 104th birthday. 10 Tampa Bay's Aaron Parsegian shares his incredible story.
Happy birthday, dear Jules. Happy birthday to you.
104th birthday.
You ever imagine you'd be saying that?
No, I didn't.
Now 4 years past the century mark, Jules Hagen values a good laugh.
I've been told not to look at the cameras, look at him, but he was hiding.
He loves to joke, but growing up, hard work was the value instilled on him in rural Indiana during the Great Depression.
My dad started me off work until noon. You got to work, get up at 6 o'clock and work till noon. You're supposed to keep your damn mouth shut and work.
Work ethic he brought overseas while serving in the Air Force during World War II.
That's me.
Captured in this 1949 book he stashes close by. Hagen served as a command engineer working on B-17 bombers.
Do what they tell you in the service. Don't argue with them.
After the war, he worked hard at many other roles, an attorney, a loving husband and dad.
I think your lips are all blue.
Now is a light in his Bradenton senior living community.
I've been brought up to think the way to work, the way to live is to work. You got to work.
Advice from the greatest generation to the next generation. Though what he's seen when it comes to technology makes him think they'll be all right.
How do I help people in the future? I can't help you in the future because you're ahead of me now.
At 104, he's just being modest. In Bradenton, Aaron Parsegian, 10 Tampa Bay.
Oh, that's fantastic, right? Good advice.
Great, yeah.
Keep moving.
Yeah.
Keep moving.
Just, stay in your lane. Work, work, work. I think we got to take his advice, yeah. But there's a little time for play, too. Especially on a day like today.
Oh, absolutely. Get out there if you can, right?
Yeah, so maybe bring a little jacket with you if you plan on going to the beaches, but otherwise the sun is really helping to thaw us out after a chilly morning. Don't worry, those chilly temperatures will be back tomorrow morning and Sunday morning, but then improving by Monday.
Thanks for joining us on 10 Tampa Bay Plus. We'll look for you again at 5 o'clock.